Patuloy na nagbibigay serbisyo, pag-asa at saya. GMA Regional TV, kapuso ng bawat Pilipino. Kini ang GMA Regional TV Live.
Good morning, maupayhan aga ug maayong buntag sa tanan nga nagtan-aw karon sa GMA Regional TV Live. Mag-uban na sabta mga kapuso sa laing makalingaw ug siksik na episode karong buntaga. Sa mga kapuso nato sa Central ug Eastern Visayas, kami nang hinaot maayo ra inyong kabuntagon, labi na sa mga kapuso nato diha sa Leyte. Good morning, sis.
Good morning, Nix. And good morning sa tanan natong mga suki sa GMA Regional TV Live. Nga walay sipyat gayud nga mo tan-aw sa ato ang programa Lunes hangtod Biyernes matag alas 8 sa buntag. It's a good morning, Nix. And let's all keep the optimistic vibes kay whether we like it or not, mga kapuso, kitang tanan adunay lain-laing mga problema ug anaa lang gayud kana sa ato ang pagda. Karong taon-taon, ako mahinabi si kapuso actress Ara San Agustin ug sayranta ang mga recommended niya nga mga food, ilabi na karon nga uso kaayo ang online selling. Og nagka-level up na gayod ang ato ang programa kay karong taon atong makauban si Chinese Ambassador Wang Xilian og atong sayran ang mga natampo sa nasod si China dinhi sa Pilipinas atol ni ining pandemya.
Ug ato sa makauban si Sherwin Eviota, convener sa Cebu Citizens Initiative ug ang ilang tabang aron ma-uplift ang moral sa mga Subuanon taliwan ining kalisod nga atong giagian. Samtang ari una ta sa atong baliklantaw karong adlawa. Si Lapu-Lapu kinsa na ila sa lain-lain nga mga pangan sama sa si Lapu-Lapu, Salip-Pulaka, Kali-Pulako ug Lapu-Lapu di Bantag, giila isip labing unang Pilipinhong bayani nga mibuntog sa Portuguese conquistador nga si Ferdinand Magellan ug sa iyang mga sundaw kinsa misuway pagsakop sa Mactan Island. Aron pagpasidungog sa iyang kalampusan, ang monumento ni Lapu-Lapu nagbarog nga mapasigarbuhon sa isla sa Mactan karong panahona. Nagsimbolo kini sa labing unang malampuson nga pagpakigbatok sa nasod sa Spanish colonization. Ug sunod tuig mga kapuso, 2021 sa ulugon ay ika-500 years ning maong kadaugan sa Mactan. Karon says sugdi na imong bistok uban kang kapuso actress Ara San Agustin.
Makauban this morning, usa sa inyong mga giatangan nga kapuso actress dinhi sa Kapuso Network nga si Ara San Agustin. Maayong buntag, Ara. Kumusta ka na?
Buntag. Okay naman po. Doing good. Salamat po sa Diyos.
Thank you for joining us this morning kasi gusto talaga naming malaman kung ano yung mga pinagkakabisihan mo this quarantine. And let's start with your ukulele lessons. Paano to nagsimula yung pagkahilig mo sa ukulele?
Gusto ko magkaroon ng sarili kong talent kasi yung mga kasama ko sa Starstruck, di ba? Ang mga talented nila, wala akong panlaban. So I have to learn on my own. So, nag-self-taught ako, nag-aral ako by YouTube. So I could be something. Tapos, ayun, para may ma-present din ako sa audience. And I also love singing, so bumagay naman siya.
Let's continue your quarantine life. Pag-usapan natin itong baking kasi natuto ka na rin mag-bake. So far, ano na yung mga recipes na nagawa mo?
Nag-start na akong crave ng mga sweets, hindi naman ako makabili, hindi ako makalabas. So nag-bake ako, nag-search ako online. And ang dami ko ring oras, dami kong hawak na oras para mag-bake. And then after that, gumawa ako ng crinkles, pero yung crinkles, naging brownie! Mali ako, hindi ko alam kung ano nangyari. Well, sinuport naman ako ng family ko, kaya naman nila, inubos naman nila.
Ara, bilang host ng Taste Manila, ano yung nakikita mong trends for food sellers and restaurant owners to adopt to ngayong nasa new normal na tayo?
Para sa mga pagkain naman, yung mga merienda snacks, yun yung mga nauuso ngayon. At saka yung mga kakaiba, yung may mga twist na mga cuisines siguro, minsan may mga fusion, like for example, Filipino food na may twist into gagawin na lang, sasamahan nila ng pagka-Japanese. Yung parang mga ganun. Parang kakaiba sa mata ng tao and sa imagination ng mga tao.
And let's talk about Taste Manila. Ano yung mga pinaghahandaan yung segments para sa mga viewers natin?
We started taping, medyo nag-iba na kami ng tema. So, it's, of course, it's still food along the metro, pero we are shooting our episodes at home. So, basically, it's going to be like a DIY shoot setup.
And Ara, aside from hosting, hinahangaan ka din sa acting mo. And for your future projects, may gusto ka bang role na gampanan?
I still want to hone my skills in heavy drama. I don't think I'm satisfied enough with with my previous performances. Mas gusto ko pa siyang mas ma-explore, mas gusto ko pa siyang ma-expand. At saka, other than heavy drama, gusto ko rin matry naman maging kontrabida. Kasi for the longest time, nakakast ako palagi sa mabait na role.
Let's invite everyone, all our kapuso, to follow and to watch Taste Manila and of course your social media accounts.
Hi guys, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Addison Agustin, and follow our Instagram account, Taste Manila Instagram account at taste_MNL, and tune in every Wednesday and every Friday because we upload fresh new episodes. At maraming salamat po. Sana po hindi po kayo magsawang magsuporta sa bawat isa po sa amin.
Ay, hindi talaga kami magsasawa, Aran. We'll support you all the way. Daghang salamat for joining us.
Thank you so much, Miss Cecil. Thank you po. Thank you.
Og mao kadto si Ara San Agustin, mga kapuso, nga mipaambit ko noon sa ka-productive ang iyahang pag-quarantine kay gawa sa pag-play sa ukulele, nagsugod na usab siya sa baking. Hinaot nga kamuusab, daghan mong gikalingawan karong quarantine. Og mubalik pa ang GMA Regional TV Live.
Kini ang GMA Regional TV Live. Kini ang GMA Regional TV Live.
Balik mga kapuso sa GMA Regional TV Live. Talag sa unta karong buntaga makauban nato mga kapuso, Chinese Ambassador to the Philippines, His Excellency Ambassador Huang Chilian. Good morning, Mr. Ambassador.
Good morning, Nico. How are you?
I'm fine, I'm good. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Mr. Ambassador.
Nice to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, especially to our viewers here in Cebu and the Visayas. Mr. Ambassador, this year marks the 45th anniversary of the establishment of the diplomatic relations between China and the Philippines. What major improvements, Mr. Ambassador, did we see in recent years?
Thank you for your question. Yes, this is a very important year when we are celebrating the 45th anniversary of our diplomatic relations. And under the leadership of President Xi Jinping and President Duterte, our relationship have witnessed that kind of significant progress in the past few years. And on people-to-people exchanges, we have witnessed remarkable increase. In the past few years, last year, the number of Chinese tourists to this country stood at more than 1.7 million people. And so that's greatly promotes understanding between our two countries.
Unfortunately, right now, we're under a public health emergency. What is the impact, Ambassador Wang, of this pandemic right now between the China and Philippine trade, of course, China being the Philippines' top trading partner?
One is that, because of the pandemic, because of the kind of community quarantine, and because of the closure of factories and commercial, institutions, the trade, your export to China and your import from China, have slowed down a little bit in the past half a year. And second is that, because of the kind of policy, Chinese tourists are now not able to come to this country. So, the number of the visitors have reduced, drastically in the past half a year. And also, Philippines is a very important part of the regional and global supply chain. And because of that, the kind of role as part of the supply chain has also been affected to some extent. And more specifically, the kind of commercial personnel who work on those projects in this country, they are also affected because they're not able to come. So, some of the projects, the pace of the development have been slowed down. But luckily, that most of the projects have resumed their work already, and at about 80% to 90% of their capacity. So we are working very closely with our Philippine friends to make sure that our trade and economic cooperation will not be affected seriously due to the pandemic.
Maybe unknown to many Filipinos, Ambassador Huang, especially during the early stage of the pandemic, of the outbreak here in the Philippines, China has been really helping the country and has been extending assistance, especially us here in the Visayas and Mindanao. Can you tell us more on the extended help that China has given to the country?
For the Chinese government, we have provided several batches of medical supplies, including testing kits, PPEs, almost 2 million PPEs, 250,000 test kits, and a lot of other medical supplies. And actually, those supplies are still flowing in. As you know, that we send a medical team, the first medical team. We have sent to our neighbors, and that they were here for 2 weeks. They share everything with your government and your people. Since we paid heavy costs already, we don't want our friend to pay the same cost. So we try to share our experience with you.
Ambassador, let's talk about the progress of China's developing a vaccine for COVID-19. Can you tell us more about this, the update on this?
And as for China, we are being one of the leading developers in the world. Now, out of the, about 6 vaccines, candidate vaccines, which have entered the 3rd phase clinical trial, 4 of them are Chinese developers. Some time ago, when our president talked to your President Duterte, our president have reassured that as a very close friend and close neighbor, once we succeed in developing a vaccine, we of course will, consider Philippines as the priority to provide the Chinese vaccine.
Ambassador Wang, with regards to the disputed territories in the South China Sea, what is the status of the consultation and the code of conduct among ASEAN countries, including the Philippines, Ambassador?
Okay, yes. I should say that it's very normal for neighbors to have differences. China and Philippines like a neighbor or even like a family members. It's very natural for us to have some differences. But what is important is that we need to handle the differences properly, not to allow the differences to be in the way of our bilateral relations. And we have agreed to solve the differences through peaceful means, through bilateral negotiations.
But under this COC, Mr. Ambassador, or Code of Conduct, what are the guarantees that the Philippines will not be at a disadvantageous position with regards to the claim also on these disputed islands?
The COC is a very important effort to work out a COC. It is nothing about document to address the issue itself, to solve the differences. But it's a document, a binding document. We look forward to it to be a binding document to regulate the behavior of all parties concerned to, maintain the stability and tranquility in this region.
In your more than 8 months of assignment here in the Philippines, how do you find the country and the people?
Yes, I love this country. I feel that the people here are warm, optimistic, and very talented.
Your favorite Filipino dish so far, Ambassador Huang?
Oh yes, I enjoy my daily Chinese food. I also love Filipino food, the dishes here, and there are quite some dishes which are so impressive to me, as just like in terms of sweet, halo halo, yeah, delicious, and also adobo, the meat adobo also, that's they're nice foods, and also lechong, that's kind of that's roasted pig. There's some
pig.
similar roast pig in China, the same style, and there are quite a lot, even some kind of Chinese style Filipino foods, all very impressive, very delicious.
My favorites as well, Mr. Ambassador. How about your first Filipino word that you have learned? And how's your Filipino vocabulary so far, Mr. Ambassador?
Yeah, it's a good question. Actually, I can speak Malay. So I have found that in Tagalog, there are some vocabularies quite similar to Malay. I always say salamat to Filipino friends, and also say kaibigan.
Kaibigan.
Yeah, kaibigan, and also nowadays there is a very popular and heated words, that we call it bayanihan. Bayanihan, right?
Wow.
Right.
And that is what we need, especially during this time of the pandemic.
Yes.
Finally, Mr. Ambassador, your message to our viewers, especially here in the Visayas, Central and Eastern Visayas.
I wish that this country will win over the fight against the pandemic at an early date, so that I can travel freely to meet with friends from Philippines.
Wow. In Cebu, we say, daghang salamat. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Chinese Ambassador to the Philippines, His Excellency Wang Chilian. Thank you so much, Mr. Ambassador.
Thank you. Salamat.
Salamat. Ubalik pa mga kapuso ang GMA Regional TV Live.
Kini ang GMA Regional TV Live.
Ungang atong dakbayan nang inahanglan ug tabang nagbaguod sa kadaghan sa kalisod nga gisaguban untai na nato ni pasagdan walay di masulbad kung tanan magkahius lang sa pagpagkamana alang sa usag-usa kita ragyud ang atong kaluwasan kayang gahom anaa sa katawan kinsa pa man di ay ang magtinabangay kinsa pa man di ay ang mag-inulungay kinsa pa man di ay ang magdayong taragi hapon bay kinsa pa man di ay
Kinsa pa man di ay, very catchy og inspirational song mga kapuso haom karong pandemya nga gisagubang natong tanan. Karong buntaga makauban nato ang nagpasiugda ning maong inisyatibo si Sir Sherwin Eviota. Good morning, Sir Sherwin.
Maayong buntag kanimo Nico ug sa atong mga televiewers.
Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Unsay istorya aning atong kanta nga kinsa pa man di ay nganong naka-come up ta aning inisyatibo, sir?
Istorya ra to hantod sa we thought of organizing ourselves. One Cebu Citizens Initiative ang tuig tumong nato is to send out different messages ba nga moabot bitaw sa atong mga kaigsuunan. And one of those nga na hunahunaan nato was a song that is appealing to all ages and most especially to kanibang mga the unprivileged sectors bitaw sa atong society.
Ang message gyud sa song, manawagan sa atong pagtinabangay inunungay karong panahona?
It is. Ang gusto magud nato ma-impart sa atong mga kaigsoonang subuan is that kanang tempa sa agud, kanang murag kapoy na nila, ging na natagahigo sa atong presidente, murag di man ni mao. And we are not that kind of Cebuanos. We're supposed to be resilient. So we just had to remind our brother and sister Cebuanos ba, nga we have to do this as a united people ba, nga in solidarity bitaw. Because you know, Nico, it's not only, the song is not only for this pandemic. It is also after the pandemic. Nga mabitaw ang katapusang linya de sa linya, Sugbo bangon, Subuanon.
Pagkanindot, sir, kita ang atong kaluwasan, sir. So, mensahe nimo sa atong mga viewers karon.
We all need to work together. And let us be conscious nga this is not just para nako, para sa kong pamilya, but para sa tanan. It's for Cebu. And we need to bangon back to the kind of progressive Cebu that we used to have and we used to be.
Wow, thank you so much po for your message this morning. Daghang kay salamat nagpasiugda ni ining trending nga kanta. Mr. Sherwin Aviota, daghang kay salamat, sir, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Kalganihabot mga kapuso, nakauban ni Cecil si Kapuso Ara San Agustin. Mipaambit si magibuhat karong panahon sa quarantine ug giunsa niya pagpalambo sa iyang baking skills unsa pay angayang at tangan pod sa iyang mga fans sa umaabot. Nakauban sab nato si Chinese Ambassador to the Philippines Wang Xilian, mipaambit sa mga gibuhat sab sa Chinese government pagtabang dinhi sa Pilipinas labi na ning panahon sa pandemya ug matud niya nagpabilin nga lig-on ang diplomatic relations sa Pilipinas ug sa China. Sa katapusan, hinaot nga nakuha niyo mga kapusog inspirasyon katong kantak kinsa pamandiay ang magtinabangay taliwa nining mga nasinati nato nga hagit ning panahon sa pandemya. Nanawagan kining Cebu People's Initiative nga magtinabangay gyud kitang tanan nga mga Subuanon aron kini atong masagubangan. Pagkanindot sa kanta sil kinsa pa magyud ay ang magtinabangay, kita-kita ra gyud.
Kung pagkanindot gayud next nga nakita nato tanan nato ang mga idolo, ang mga Cebuano talents nga nagkahiusa para niining usa ka kanta para nato tanan.
Unta motuhop pod ang mensahe nga magtinabangay ta karong panahon sa pandemya.
Sakto ka na. Busa mga kapuso, aduna kami pabaon kaninyo karong buntaga. All adverse and depressing influences can be overcome not by fighting but by rising above them. By Charles Caleb Colton.
Mga kapuso, sa gustong mo tanaw pagbalik mong episode and more, please visit our official website sa www.gmaregionaltv.com. Sa among YouTube channel sa please click subscribe sa GMA Regional TV. Daghan kayong salamat sa inyong padayon nga pagsalig o pag-uban.
Dugang mga istorya pa nga puno sa inspirasyon o impormasyon ang dalit kanamo kaninyo mga kapuso. Busa tutok lang every morning dinhi sa GMA Regional TV Live.
Kita kids pag-usab mga kapuso na rin all things God may be glorified. Stay at home, stay healthy, o keep safe, kapuso.